We're ready to go? Review of April 6 minutes. Anyone have any comments on those? I do. We haven't reviewed the guidelines yet, Charlie. That we were gonna do. No. So we I don't know when Phil will be back, but at some point we need to. Bring it down. Anyone have any comments on anyone else? I'd like to change the agenda a little bit. We don't have anything about Young Eagles and EAA. But Ken, Phil and I went to an EAA meeting and discussed with them what we have to do to have Young Eagles at Ursula Days. And Mike Watson, whom I think you all know, it is a long time EAA guy, a local chapter. He's agreed to come, and if we've got any questions or anything we want to discuss, he'd be the guy to give us an answer. What I picked up from it, Ken, jump in here at any point. We gotta do some work ahead of time. We've gotta get the pilots identified. They've got to connect with EAA and take some kind of a written test or something.
Yeah, a lot of the pilots that go around to these, they have them all around the state.
Right.
I mean, we just did one in Lewiston last week.
Yeah, so
You kind of put the word out, and I mean, some pilots just like to go to these things and fly kids, they're all set up and ready to go. I mean, basically, any pilot that wants to fly kids just needs to be a member of EAA.
right,
And they have to have a,
$1 million liability.
$100,000 for the pilot. You just need a basic liability for the pilot on their own airplane. EAA will cover $1 million on top of that, should anything happen. And there's, if they haven't already taken just a short online class about working with kids, like every organization has to do. Once that's gonna be, and surely all the rest of the kids.
So what do we need to provide? We talked about this at the meeting, but what is it the advisory council or the airport need to do to make this happen?
Just
We're working on getting some pilots.
pilot, the pilots are the big thing. I mean, our chapter certainly host, get the insurance, get all the waivers, get all the paperwork that needs to be done. All set up ahead of time, and
Gonna need a safe, a safe lane for the kids to travel.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Do we need someone to escort the kids back and forth to the plane?
well, somebody does, either somebody from our chapter or you guys. I'm sure we can work that out. I mean, we've got quite a few in the chapter that can help on the ground. Do registrations, walk the kids. It's been a while since I've been to a Sula Days, because it's usually it's Labor Day weekend, right?
Right.
Normally we'll have a place to stage, either in a hangar or canopy or something, where kids can sign up to take the ride. They need a signature from a parent or legal guardian. And then we just kind of take them first come, first served, and call the name. Somebody will take them to the plane, the pilot can, it just depends on where all this gets staged. Usually the ride's 15 minutes maybe. We'll do a pilot at a time, pick out a, fairly easy route where you can take them for a loop, and basically it works good to come back into the traffic path at the airport, just keep a loop going. If there's anything else?
Like to provide like water to the pilots and maybe if you have food on site, we've done that before.
Sula Days is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I jump in here for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
So I participated in a Young Eagles event a few weeks ago in Florida, and the way we did it there, and I think it's a really good way to do it because it's a really safe way to do it, is we had one person who was marshaling all of the children were behind a barrier where the sign-up table was, and they stayed there until someone was ready to marshal them out to the particular aircraft that they were going to fly in. And then secondly, there was another person who was actually marshaling the planes in. So if there were 5 or 6 airplanes, they would marshal them in at a point where they knew there were no children on the ramp or on the taxiway. So we might want to have two marshals, one for airplanes and one for the children.
So the first question, at least to me, do we want to do it? And then we can build a plan. So right now I'm asking, do we want to do it?
I'm in favor. I'm certainly in favor.
Say yes.
Yeah.
Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay, it's unanimous. Glenn, we all want to do it. So then someone needs to take the lead in this thing and catch up with EAA and make sure we've got all the bases covered for it.
Yeah,
So who's that someone gonna be? That's what I was afraid of.
I'd be happy to
it
do it.
shouldn't be that difficult of a process.
Trust me, Glenn, I already had you in mind and I'll drag you into it.
Yep, I'll be happy to do it.
I'm sure you will. Anything else on EAA?
Civil Air Patrol doesn't participate in facilities, do they? We've used them to like marshal to the planes.
Oh, we've never had civil air, but I know.
We've had some of the kids. Were those?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
What, they were.
They were all
fast,
lost.
okay.
they were out of water.
The guy that I know from work used to be, that's right.
It wasn't Civil Air, it was Young Marines or,
Now, this is Civil Air Patrol,
was it Civil Air?
was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah,
No.
they would camp on site and they
Years
would
ago, we did it at Norfolk, Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
Helped a lot.
Okay, so that's part of what we'll need to put together. Who do we contact?
You can just
You,
contact
we'll
me.
go through, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anything else on this? Everybody's all set?
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. and
Thank
any
you.
more questions?
You're welcome to sit here if you want, or if not, thank you very. Oh,
She told me, it was like, it's all right, anniversary. I'll come with you.
happy
You know, find a place
anniversary.
to-
Thank you very much. Financial status.
Those your papers down there?
each one of those. Each one of those for them.
There's just a bunch of, if anybody has any questions on the program, I'll follow.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I can just leave one behind, that'll be good. Your financial status here, honestly, you folks are shaping up pretty well. We have not paid bills yet for the month of June, so we should be a little less than 50%. On expenses, don't have a formal budget, so what we do is look, at last year and trends there. You can see kind of where we're at, it's largely timing of things. And it just kind of is what it is. In a lot of these places, your fuel is skewed obviously on actual because it's based on dollars. It's in your pack underneath your minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, your revenues are coming in, trending ahead of expenses, which that's out to put you folks in, for right now, a positive position of up, $8,600. So that year to date, that does count on everything collectible being collected, which it's not. But we're about there. So far, year to date, you're in a pretty good position. You're in a better position than you were, at this time of year.
Any comments, questions? Good. We're done. We've done the Young Eagles. Least responsibilities for hangar owners, I don't think anything's happened with that, has it?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
He's been involved.
Yeah, Bill was gonna deal with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You skipped the tractor attention.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna talk about tractor?
Oh, the tractor, yes. The tractor is all, hidden. It's at the shop now to get the rear PTO leak looked at. Internal bearing or in a seal, I think somewhere in there, so. That's off now,
Where is it?
it is in,
Did you say Corinna?
where did I say?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's up in, yeah. Shop up there.
Thought it
Well, I would just,
Trucks.
It's Canaan.
Canaan, maybe Canaan, I don't know. Renegade, it sounds of sleep.
Dana hauled it.
Yes, Dana will let you haul it for us, and Dana's gonna haul it, so. When it gets done, cause it was a little bit further trip than we wanted to try to. Drive it over the road, so,
Already driving.
yeah. So that's coming up, I expect to hear maybe something from him. Maybe towards the end of the week, I hope. Cause he was ready for it, and we had planned a couple weeks ahead of time to, it's gonna be the best for him, so.
I gotta ask, cause I don't know if these guys know or not, but he gets a tractor fixed. Is that snow blower gonna work, or we're gonna use last year, the old snow blower?
Built the new parts, I just got an email today. Asking, for our engineering firm was asking me and the snowball company if. We have received the parts out here yet. When we receive the reduction gearbox that's going on that snow blower. That's gonna be delivered out here, when it gets delivered, they're gonna send a rep here and install it. And then we're gonna try it, and, well, the try, believe it or not, was, I think what they told Richard and I was, they got a calculation of 3 or 4 inches of water in the fan equals to X amount of snow. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
gonna drive it right down to the river, I guess, and put her in and load for water. So I guess, I said, okay, so. They said they do it all the time, and they have some type of a calculation on inches of water equals X amount of feet of snow, so. They say,
Do the fish add any?
well, I don't know, I don't, I'll aim to shoot towards the shore and have people with buckets catching fish. But, they did email today, I did send back, I haven't seen the truck, I expect a pretty good gearbox and. And a new drive shaft, because it's gonna be shorter distance from the front end of the tractor to the, well, no, it's not moving. Haven't seen it yet, but I expect to pretty quick.
Yeah. It'll be here.
It was all part of the initial deal, so. All we gotta do is let them in, let them put it together.
I hope that how it works.
Yep.
Okay. CIP update. And that's the one you wanted, as I remember.
Yep, it's right here.
Or no?
So. We had an initial well, I've had 2 meetings, CIP meetings with DOT and FAA. And what it amounts to is a lack of funding from FAA to support projects. So what we had on the list, they've just continued to bump back. We've talked about, runway reconstruction, taxi, way reconstruction, and pretty much they just keep pushing things out because we need discretionary money in order to be able to do that, and you have to get queued up in order to receive extra money from the feds to close these projects in a funding loop. And so what we thought was gonna happen hasn't happened, so we're looking to get some designing done in advance. Because if you design, I think it's good for 5 years, I believe. And that will fit within our budget ongoing while allowing us to save progressively and. That's about it. Other than that, we're looking to bank cash so we can buff some of the bigger projects. This is where it's sitting in a pending status in Kaplan, which is the state's monitoring system for projects. And so we're looking at things that you might want on the list that aren't on the list, or a reprioritization of what is on the list.
Want to help me figure out that first line? So, total project 700,000. Available entitlement 171. FAA share 929.
That is just, I believe, for this year, that's 700. I'm not positive.
Okay.
I just printed this out of the state system.
Because it shows a negative $237,000 in there.
Right, and that's not the case.
At the local
Yeah.
share. So we're not gonna get a check from the feds for 237,000.
No,
Damn.
So, Richard,
it's actually probably what we have out of pocket on it already that they will owe us.
when you said bank money, you just mean keep the money. Till
Yeah,
the
so
project can do.
you might remember, we get so much every year, then we can build up to that cap, and then we loan money out. So that we don't lose the money coming back in, so that you can build up for.
That's what I was
things like
wondering,
that.
how
Yeah,
much or how long we can keep it before we lose it.
Yeah. no, we won't lose any.
Okay,
So,
that's,
anything for projects, anything that's gonna happen for this year?
So this year they're working on lighting. Right now, the timeline on lighting appears to be September.
That is installation?
That's correct. And so we'll see that in the AWAS, the new AWAS system. That is a 100% state and fed project. And that will be started this year and won't be tied in until early 2027 unless something miraculous happens.
And they're surveying that today,
Oh, good.
yeah, for the AWOS. And they're coming to. A company is coming tomorrow to do a walk around for. That's gonna bid on the lighting thing. So today we've got AWOS survey, they're out there now. Tomorrow, a company from Mass is coming up here to take a walk around. To do with the lighting project. Just to get a scope of what the project's gonna look like, cause they're gonna bid. This company, so they're just gonna look.
Anything else on that? And fireworks update.
So the gentleman that I was talking to with the FAA has disappeared. So I have contacted the FAA again, and they're gonna assign somebody new to the project. I don't know why the guy went away, but he stopped communicating. So
What do they have to do with it?
we have to permit,
From the FAA? Closing the airport's not enough then,
nope,
okay?
because you're gonna put a pyrotechnic into the
In the air.
airspace.
Yeah.
And will it go above the 700 feet, which will go into another class of
That's
airspace?
right.
So all of that has to be. All that has to be figured, and who you're gonna have for fire department, who's gonna have for everything.
Yeah.
How many feet back, are people gonna be, where they're gonna be launched from? Yeah. So,
Just like I permit for a candy drop.
it's the same as candy drop, it goes through that, all that too.
Oh, I thought candy drop was just a safety thing with the feds. I never thought of that.
And that's all airspace.
Yeah.
oh, if you drop a candy, something.
Yeah, yeah, and they usually come and watch. So I mean, they pull around, they expect it to be done right. I don't see any hold up, so it's just kind of.
How you coming financially with it?
We picked up one more this month, and we should see a check for that shortly.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
Commitments bring us in
Right,
good position,
Yeah.
but actual receipts are not where we need to be, so I'm just gonna circle back with a few of the folks that have committed and
anything else? Oops.
check out in advance.
Hey, Don?
Well, deposit, I would imagine.
Go ahead,
I would expect, yeah.
go ahead, Glenn.
Hey, I have to apologize, but I'm actually in New Jersey at a funeral and I'm gonna have to check out soon. So just needed to let you know in case you needed me for anything else before I go.
And we're at other business now, so. Bruce has got a couple of things he'd like to bring up.
You know that the state, they just hot top Airport Road. New hot top, we have new hot top in our parking lot, or it was put in there last year. And some of the issues that we have sometimes is, there's not really anything on Airport Road that says there may be a dead end sign.
Used to be, it's not there.
Yeah, but there's no sign that says dead end. And we get a significant amount of tractor trailers that come to the gate and go, here we are. And then they crank around. And then they leave and they go back, and 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they drive across the parking lot and they drive across the lawn because they can't make the turn with a 53-foot trailer. So my suggestion is that we contact the state and possibly, because that is a state road, we contact the state and get a big dead end sign, and maybe, I don't know how they do it, but place it right after, the,
Child Road.
no,
No, the
well,
entrance,
we thought either Charles Road, or I thought maybe even after,
the entrance to the,
interest to waste management. And then also I thought about, another sign, one that says dead end, and then we have a turnaround before we get to our parking lot. The airport that's gravel, where we piled all the stuff from our two taxiway construction last year. And I thought I could go up there, and I only have to remove 3 or 4, probably 4-inch trees, widen the mouth of that turnaround, and then maybe another sign right there that says trucks turn here. And then make it a big enough spot for them to back up in and leave. We have the material, there's no culvert to mess with there. So probably 3 or 4 trees and a couple, 3 hours with a loader, and I could make the front of that open so that they stop before they get to the gate. They give them a place to back around and then leave. We just don't want them turning around up at the gate. If we don't, we're gonna, the lawn's gonna get torn up, again, which is easy to fix, but the hot top, the state hot top, our brand new hot top on a 90-degree day, I think it's just we just don't want that torn up. And a big truck with a 53-foot trailer on a crank a 90-degree, 180-degree turn there is gonna tear it up. We're lucky so far I got cones out to try to discourage them, but as it is now, if a tractor trailer comes up today, he or she's gonna have to back up all the way to the Child's Road to find a place to turn around. And if we're not there watching, they're gonna do it. So that's, I guess, a couple signs, dead end, and then another sign that says truck turn here, and then we can create that spot, won't cost us any money. Just a little bit of time, the material is there. I go out there with a chainsaw, cut 4 or 5 trees, make it wide enough, and then they'll have enough room to back a big truck. And it's just shy of the gate, so if they did drive all the way up to the gate, it's not a big hurdle for them to back up, what? Couple 300 feet, Ken, maybe, more, from the gate back.
It's doable.
It's very doable. Charles Road would not be so doable for them, so. I say contact the state, see if we can get a couple of those signs, and if you want, or if you want us to, I can go out there and work on that turnaround for them and make them a turnaround. It, no material, just time, because the material's there. That we dug out of those, that we saved from those taxiway projects. That's something for you to think about.
Who are these trucks?
What's that?
Who are these trucks?
I have no idea. Sometimes a big tractor trailer might be a flatbed with a
People
big piece
show
of
up on
equipment on
that,
it. GPS brings them out there.
GPS people.
That's right.
And they drive up to the gate, and sometimes if you're out there, you'll watch them, the guy will sit there for. What do I do now kind of thing, you know, that's what he's thinking. He or she, they back up 10, 15, 20 feet, then they just crank it right around. And get as much a bite out of the parking lot that they can get, go halfway across the lawn. And I mean, some of these 53-foot trailers, their rear axles are actually turning backwards and I mean, it's a torque on it, if they, especially if they get load on it. And, you know, they'll make a mess out of our brand new hot top, they'll make a mess out of State's hot top, the new hot top. And they're probably not having a good time. Hopefully.
I don't think there's any love lost in developing the turnaround.
What's that?
There's no love lost in developing the turnaround. I would say go ahead and do that. And I'll reach out to DOT and ask them to put signage
Yeah.
down the Child's Road. Because if we put it up beyond Waste Management, then all we're doing is enabling these people to try to turn around at Waste Management.
That's
And,
right.
well, that isn't any better for them as it is for us.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, I mean, if it was any other private landowner, we'd be like, what?
Yeah.
But they have a sign that says no trailers allowed, so they're not.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're not gonna allow it either, yeah.
So that's why I was thinking that
So-
the child, at least they could go around the loop if they won't had to.
Right.
But they're doing some logging in there, so there's that big pulp truck's been turning around in Charles.
I talked to him yesterday.
What's that?
I talked to him yesterday.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Or it looked like his tracks have been turning around Charles Road, then he goes back and angles back up in the hole.
Where?
So, yes, a new sign right after Charles Road, like, it sounds good, and then something else that it would guide them to that dirt turnaround that we'll make for them. And if we could avoid them coming up there, everybody's happy.
The
It's
only
not
thing,
gonna be perfect.
no, the only thing we need to be careful is that I've watched 2 or 3 people. Dumping stuff in that turnaround. I watched one guy with a 55-gallon drum full of some sort of liquid. That he had backed up and was dumping on the ground.
Oh, really? I didn't,
And I've also watched a couple of other people changing their oil
oh,
on their vehicle, and I'm just opening it up and on the ground, so. I'm very much in favor of doing what you're talking about, but I think we need to kind of keep an eye on that because, you don't want it to become a place where people start throwing trash and refrigerators and.
well, maybe if we get in there and we. You know, we clean it up, we grade it out, we shine it up, make it look better. Hopefully that, you know,
Well,
it's bigger and better, they'll be less likely to.
Yeah.
Think it's a dump when the dump's not open.
yeah,
Put a dummy camera in there too, maybe on a little pole, just for look.
That's what I was wondering about.
But I think the key is a couple signs and then we can make that turnaround, this won't, it's not gonna cost a thing, materials there. No problem.
Anything else on other business? No?
No.
Okay. I'll bring something.
Go for it.
I've had a couple of people complain to me that the runway. I think the taxiway too, crack ceiling, I heard that again today. We're gonna lose if we don't get this thing, it's patched up. I don't know if there's money, I don't know what to do, I know there's one. Crack on the taxiway that's trying to break the tail wheel off my plane. And I had 2 people complain in the last 2 days about cracks on the runway. So what I'm saying is, what, if anything, can we do before it gets worse, cause it ain't gonna get better.
I mean, we can get a price on crack sealing. It's really what it amounts to. The state and the feds are not supportive of
I know
anything. They just implemented this, the town did it actually last year where we sent the car out on the road, used LiDAR technology. And did a pavement analysis of everything there, alligator cracks, potholes, all of that. Well, the state's now done it. For the runways, and they've done the same thing, and what their goal is to stretch the life of your runway out by another 5 to 10 years.
Patch the
So
cracks.
we're only at 15 years. For that runway, and so they're just completely ignoring us, and that's one of the things that got pushed out on that project, so. They want us to locally fund crack sealing, and overlay.
I still think we ought to get a quote to fix the stuff, and then at least we know what we're talking about.
Well, I think it would be very, very expensive for us to try to do a complete crack sealing job. I think
Oh, I don't doubt,
if we're gonna do it, I think we should identify.
right,
3 or 4 places that are the worst, and get a bid to just
I think that's a
do
good point.
the things that are big enough to drive down in and then drive
Oh,
back.
those. I agree, that's a good point.
I fixed quite a few
Yeah.
big ones there last year. And even some of the ones that I fixed with the small crack sealing machine that we do it. Even a couple of the ones that I fixed last year, even this year, open rate. And some of them we're talking they're deep.
That's right.
So it's more than a crack. You gotta put more in the hole than just crack seal. You put crack seal on it, it falls right in the hole, and the hole's still there. Oh, we're gonna seal up a 6-inch deep hole.
So how do we put a plan together to identify the areas and get a quote? Good. You're right. Can you identify the areas that need
Yeah.
it? And then we can get a quote, at least give it something to talk about on the worst ones.
The big ones are easier to fix than the small ones, believe it or not, cause you can actually put material down in them. Build it up a little bit and then put the crack seal over the top. But again, the ones that I did by the pumps. And in that apron in there this year, those held up fairly good. So I think what we did last year, hopefully I can try it on some of them other, that one on the couple of them on the taxiway down. They're pretty good ones.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, you fetch the plow in the winter too. What's
That's a good point.
So can you use cold patch and,
Well, some of them that are big enough, if you can get coal patch, and I have coal patch. That, I got a couple of yards that, we're gonna use down in the real bad places. Down on the 3, runway 3 and way over in the kind of the breakdown there's a couple of bad spots there. That I don't want somebody to roll off into.
If you do that, are you gonna pack it some? Cause I have feared of little pieces of coal patch coming up and grabbing a prop.
No, be packed,
Okay.
it'll be even Steven, and then some of that coal patch I'd like to try in the big cracks that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then I could crack seal over the top of that.
Okay, so what are we gonna do then? You're gonna try that?
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
let us know next
that's the plan.
meeting. Whatever. Thank you. And Glenn, you're still there?
no, I think we left.
You go. Anyone have anything else? Richard, staff report, so
We
you're,
already had it,
but I thought, but I, it's on the list.
thank you.
Next meeting day.
The only other thing I had
Oh.
to, public comment, you're all
I mean, does he, oh, I didn't see a hand, someone have a comment?
Is there any public comment?
I don't think, I had a question regarding the conversation I had with Ken last year, and I have no idea if there's anything to it or even on the radar in the future, but I put a note up, look at the possibility of if there's any hangars available. I've gone out, Bruce had called me out a couple times, looked at one. But the discussion was for the possible new segment in the airport, for new hangars. I was wondering if there was anything to that, or if that was something.
So the airport itself hasn't explored the possibility of building that out. What we have done is our consultants kind of laid out what your height restrictions are in the certain areas that are over there. And kind of just said, let it go to private market, and if it's worth the investment for private investment, then let it be that way. And people just haven't been interested in building that out.
But the space,
So if you wanted to build a hangar, you can,
the space is,
Okay, that's the question.
Yes.
yes.
the space is available though.
It's
That's
basically
correct.
that.
Where they pulled the electricity over 12 or 13 years ago. It's all run over. Yep.
Okay, so I guess the next question would be, it's available to the point where if someone wanted to come and build a hangar, we could come up with an agreement for the lease on that particular one, it'd just be up to us to do the construction and put our hangar in?
Yeah, so we have hangar standards.
Yeah.
Hangar construction standards, and that would all get permitted through the code office. And then, yeah, it's, the hangar fee space is based upon, your square footage of the hangar.
Okay,
Or hangars, whatever.
and so those rates are all determined already and everything, so that, okay,
I'd have to dig it because it doesn't happen that often, but
yeah. All right, great.
How many spaces is it? How many, much
I think
room?
it's 9.
So you can build 9 hangars if you want.
Yeah, well, we'll start with one and see where it goes. Yeah.
Anyone have anything else? Next meeting day. What's August, let's say, the 15th? August 15th, whatever, Richard, it's your shot.
so we've got August 17th or August 24th. Yeah, both are Mondays.
Okay, let me just ask a question. Is there gonna be that much? Well, I guess August would be good because in case we need to do something for Osula Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, August is good.
What you said,
24th is probably better for me.
They're gonna be too close to Azula.
that's what I would do.
That gives you 2 weeks.
I don't know, I'm just asking.
No, that's-
If you want to go the 17th, we can go the
I'd
17th.
rather see the 17th simply because.
Is that all you have, 17th and 24th?
Well, those are the Mondays in August.
Okay, but I mean, if you need to change it to a different day, I'm open to that. I mean, we can leave it to 24th.
Whatever you want,
Let's go 8/17 at 1 o'clock.
okay,
The only other question I had that follows up on his question of the hangar. Who would somebody contact you, right? About that information or,
Yeah, and I'll pull whatever I've got from Gail. Well, height restrictions and whatnot, and that was a big obstacle. Somebody wanted to come in and do like a mechanic's hangar. But they wanted more height than what we can allow there, there are height restrictions, given its proximity to the roadway.
Now, just a question, is that going to interfere in any way with the grass runway?
we can move, Bruce and I have talked about, we can move that grass runway further out.
Yeah,
I would think if somebody wants to build. Once you get one hangar, it's probably like housing belt, when you get one hangar.
I
maybe
think we
they'll
can
go.
move it out, challenge what it looks like, so we could offset it.
Well, I'm talking about the FAA, is the FAA gonna,
Well, that's what we're talking about,
what I don't want is for the FAA to. Say, well, you got hangars there, if too close, can't have a runway there anymore.
I was under the impression it was a what grass runway.
Yeah, they don't want us to have runway there, period.
Well,
one grass runway.
well, that,
they,
that's changed somewhat now,
Yeah,
You go to the FAA and they'll come to your airport and approve a grass runway, if it's okay with.
We just have unique mowing patterns as of today at the Norwood Airport. We just have. unique
so we
mowing
could
patterns.
uniquely move it a few feet if we had to.
Yeah, but we don't facilitate a grass runway at the airport.
The other thing that's a little off topic, but yeah, before we get too far into that is. You have space for 9 hangars.
In the pattern configuration.
Are you starting in a certain place, or is the first guy get to pick his spot?
The third guy would get picked one end or the other. That's what I was.
When I initially looked at it, actually, that night we were out there and had the discussion, I believe the power station was on this, I guess you call it this end.
South end, yeah.
And it looked like that would be the place to start the first one, so
Right.
there, and then. Like Bruce and I were just saying, this daisy chain power. all
Head
through.
towards, they would be headed towards the tunnel.
Anything else so we can? Close, are we all done? Now we'll adjourn the meeting and now go ahead.
Okay. Means adjourned.
Meeting's adjourned.